Peter Drucker once quoted, "The relevant question is not simply what shall we do tomorrow, but rather what shall we do today in order to get ready for tomorrow." Hello everyone, I am Sanjana and today I'll be talking about the strategic management process in an organization and also the implementation and execution of the very process in our lives as well. But before we dive into that, imagine the business environment is like a natural ecosystem. Then the law of evolution applies here. Only the fittest survives. But unlike in a natural environment, companies have a control over their adaptive capabilities and they exercise that control with their strategic management process. So what would take decades in a natural environment to occur could happen in a couple of years in business. So who lives and who dies is determined by great strategies. And organizations that evolve and modernize their strategic processes not only survive and outline their competitors, but also thrive and dominate the markets. So basically, this process describes the steps in order that an organization should perform to figure out where they want to get to, how they are going to reach there, and whether or not they are succeeding. And not just business organizations, but we all can apply the strategic management process in our lives as well to achieve our targets and desired objectives. We should have a vision of our life, where we want to reach, with a plan, how we are going to reach there, and while moving forward, continuously evaluate ourselves. So let's dive into these elements of the strategic management process in detail. And the first step in the process is the strategy formulation phase, which starts by setting the vision and mission statements. The vision is a representation of the future path or position that one desires to achieve. The mission is the actions that deems applicable in order to achieve that foreseeable future. Next is the setting up of goals and objectives. These goals and objectives convert the strategic vision and mission into specific performance targets, the results that one wants to achieve. Now, we also have to make sure that we have the capabilities to execute that vision. It has to be made sure that the vision is compatible with the external realities of the world, which leads us to the next step, that is environmental scanning. It's like a quick reality check, and environmental scanning could be done with the help of SWOT analysis, which describes one's strengths, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Environmental scanning could be done internally as well as externally. Internal environmental scanning could be done by answering questions such as, do we have the necessary people and skill set to deliver against our goals? Do we need or have the necessary capital to fund our ambitions? And the external analysis could be done by knowing who are the competitors, what are the customer and market trends, what are the regulations and compliance affecting the business. So understanding the environment is a critical prerequisite to formulation. Now we have the vision, a clear set of goals, and a good understanding of the environment. We move forward to the formulation of the plan. This is where an organization or oneself crafts a detailed plan about how they are actually going to achieve the defined goals. This could be done by creating projects, taking up actions and initiatives, followed by setting up of KPIs. KPIs basically measure whether or not you are achieving your objectives. And the KPIs must be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time framed. So the KPIs should follow the SMART format. And make sure that the KPIs are fully understandable and clear. This concludes the first phase of the strategic management process, and by the end of this phase, we have clear objectives, specific projects to drive the progress, and strong KPIs to measure that progress. This leads us to the second and the most important phase of the process. That is the strategy implementation phase, and basically the phase where 80% of the strategies fail. You see, if we plan our future goals and objectives, set the vision of our lives in the coming years, we are very ambitious and determined. But if the same is not continued while implementing those plans, then we are bound to fail. So perseverance is essential throughout the process. Now, one of the most important things to do while setting up the implementation process is to determine how the strategy will integrate with the existing and current structure. In terms of an organization, it could be done by setting up meetings. Meetings regulate discussions regarding the progress, supported by data and reports, which is followed by strategy reporting. Strategy reporting is done by collecting, synthesizing, analyzing, and distribution. Strategy reporting also includes the reviewing of KPIs and monitoring the project status regularly. Next is effective communication. Now, communicating the strategy plan to the employees is essential, as that way they will engage with it, challenge it productively, and ultimately improve it. So communication plays a key role here. Next is performance management. Performance management actually drives execution, and it connects the strategy to people's individual goals. And alignment of people's goals with companies is the most valuable benefits any organization can have. This concludes the second phase of the process and leads us to the third and the final phase of the process, that is the performance evaluation. Now, the implementation phase can be long and challenging, and it's easy to get lost in the implementation phase. In fact, sometimes it takes so long that the organization, even we, forget to revisit the strategic objectives to see if all the implementation work is actually moving the needle towards its ultimate goals or not. So evaluation is vital. It will tell whether or not you are making progress against that part of your goal. Now, strategy evaluation could be done by reviewing underlying basis of strategy, followed by measuring performance, which is followed by taking corrective actions. And obviously, analyzing the strategic success is one thing. Actually doing something about any shortcomings is the real key to success. Thank you.